Assalamu alaikum and greetings to panelists and participants of Postgraduate Research Seminar 2021. My name is Norhana Abdul Majid and my presentation today entitled Reliability of Questionnaire for All Palm Independent Smallholders Behaviour. The palm oil industry continues to be an important industry that contributes to Malaysia's GDP. The current high price of crude palm oil has benefited the palm oil industry, including the smallholders with higher income. Nevertheless, the palm oil industry continues to face challenges and criticism from environmental and health aspects. The European Union, for example, currently discussing a new policy that will be more stringent toward commodities that are being associated with deforestation. The concluded COP26 on climate change has seen 120 countries, which representing about 90% of the world forests, pledge to halt and reverse deforestation by 2030. In addition, there was also a methane pledge led by United States and EU, by which more than 100 countries agreed to cut emission of their greenhouse gases by 2030. Malaysia has also put forward our commitment to reduce our greenhouse gases emission intensity against its GDP by 45% by 2030 from 2005 levels and to achieve net zero by 2050. Deforestation, methane emission, and greenhouse gases are widely associated to the palm oil industry. Thus, the palm oil industry in the near future needs to take into consideration this commitment in order to move forward and be seen as part of a green industry. The Sustainability Certification Scheme is one of the mechanisms undertaken by palm oil producing countries to monitor and improve sustainable palm oil production. The establishment of Roundtable of Sustainable Palm Oil or RSPO in 2004 have paved the way for the development of other sustainable certifications to evaluate the sustainability of palm oil industry. For example, we have Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil, Indonesian Sustainable Palm Oil ISPO, and International Sustainability and Carbon Certification. Malaysia has developed the Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil Certification Scheme (MSPO) in 2013, and the voluntary implementation of MSPO started in 2015. Malaysia Palm Oil Certification Council was established in 2014 as a governing body for the implementation of MSPO. MSPO certification is a national scheme developed to ensure all palm plantation, independent smallholders, organized smallholders, and processing facilities are certified based on MSPO certification standards. The objective of MSPO is to achieve sustainable production through best agricultural practices and thus increase market access, enhance competitiveness and image of Malaysian palm oil. The mandatory implementation of MSPO was announced in 2017 and enforced from January 2020. Sustainable certification requires the all palm growers, including smallholders and palm oil manufacturers, to adhere to the principles and criteria set out in the certification scheme. MSPO for independent palm oil smallholders has a total of 7 main principles and 33 indicators. The implementation of MSPO is also gazetted under the Malaysian Palm Oil Board Licensing Regulation. Any non-compliance with this regulation will result in palm oil industry players, including the smallholders, to be compounded and their activity licenses to be suspended, revoked, and not renewed. Studies have shown that the challenges faced by the smallholders in obtaining and implementing the sustainability certification include skills shortages, lack of knowledge and fund, issues relating to legal documents, not practicing good agricultural management practice, and also lack of record management. In addressing this issue, Malaysia government has provided the institutional support and funding to accelerate and increase the uptake of MSPO. Nevertheless, the independent smallholders' participation are still moderate at 55%. The current COVID-19 pandemic also poses challenges for the smallholder to participate in activities related to certification. Issues related to legal documents and non-participatory smallholders are among the main challenges faced by the authorities in achieving the 100% mandatory participation by the independent smallholders. Current studies on palm oil sustainable certification mainly focus on environmental, social, and economic implementation of the certification. The numbers of researchers focused on factors to predict the intention and behavior of all palm smallholders are currently limited. The objective of this study is to explore the independent palm oil smallholders' behavior with the intention to comply with the implementation of MSPO, to determine the factors that influence the independent smallholders' behavior in complying with MSPO based on theory of planned behavior. The theory of plant behavior, TPP, was chosen as the theoretical background of this study. TPP is an extension of theory of reason action and widely used in various fields to predict and explain behavioral choices. TPP postulated that the intention to perform a behavior will be higher when the individual have positive elevation of performing the behavior. The three constructs of TPP are attitude, subjective norm, and perceived control behavior. Attitude refers to individual evaluation on the favorableness and unfavorableness in conducting a behavior. Individuals are more likely to engage in behaviors that are perceived to have favorable outcome as compared to unfavorable outcome. Subjective norms refers to perceived social pressure to perform any particular behavior, while perceived control behavior is an individual perception on his or her ability to perform certain behavior. This study applied quantitative approach, and Questionnaire was developed from various past researchers that focus on the three constructs of TPP. The objective of this instrument is to measure the behavior of independent palm oil smallholders in complying with the MS certification. The questionnaire has been modified and improved according to the three TPP construct. For each construct, there are 5 items. The instrument measurement is using a 5-point Likert scale, where 1 equivalent to strongly disagree and 5 equivalent to strongly agree. A pilot study was conducted to ensure that the questionnaire is acceptable and the smallholders can understand the question in the instrument. The pilot test was carried out in collaboration with Malaysia Palm Oil Board, NPOB. Google Form questionnaire was forwarded to independent oil palm smallholders in 5 Sustainable Palm Oil Grower Cluster or SPOC in the state of Johor. The sampling technique used was stratified sampling. A total of 32 respondents have submitted feedback in the pilot study. Garbage alpha was calculated to estimate the internal consistency of the item within the TPP construct, particularly attitude, subjective norm, and perceived control behavior. The Cronbach alpha for all three constructs range between 0.907, 0.870, and 0.765 respectively, as shown in the table. This indicates that the reliability coefficient of all constructs are acceptable, as these follow the rules of thumbs and references, suggest the value of carbon alpha more than 0.7 are acceptable and have high reliability. From the Cronbach alpha analysis, it can be concluded that the instrument's internal consistency reliability for the TPP constructs are acceptable and can be applied to the field study. However, there are existing limitations of the pilot study, particularly on the number of samples, and the focus of the samples is on independent palm oil smallholders only. For future recommendation, it is suggested that further research to be conducted to test the reliability of the questionnaire with larger number of samples, and also to include organized smallholder scheme, which is a part of the total palm oil smallholders in Malaysia. The participation of independent smallholders in implementing the MSPO is crucial, as smallholders account for 40% of palm oil planted areas in Malaysia. This makes a significant contribution to Malaysia's commitment in ensuring sustainable production of palm oil, as well as our international commitments such as Sustainable Development Goals and the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. With the end of the slide, I would like to extend my appreciation to my supervisors and secretariat for the opportunity to participate in Progress 2021. Thank you.